Yo, what's up? My name is Salim Lazy Boy Aside. A lot of people just call me Laze. So this is my channel. I've had this channel for a while, and I was thinking to myself, man, I almost have 1,000 subscribers. I don't even have that many videos up. I was like, all right, well, let me put some more effort behind it. I got a little bit more time, and these there's definitely some videos that like this type of format where I want to experiment with, where it's more the value is what the experiences that I'm sharing, or some sort of some sort of some sort of knowledge on, whether it be production or business related, to help you on your journey. So I'm going to keep these videos short. A lot of times I just keep talking and it's like 29 minutes long. So I'm going to try to keep them around 10 minutes or so. But the idea is that you can, if you're on your walk, or you're working out at the gym, or you're driving to work, or whatever you're doing, you could just pop it on and you can just listen and be part of the conversation. Like, post a comment, hit me up, let me know what you need help with, and I'll see what I can do. So one thing that I just want to share, like, it took me a while just to get to this point, because for many years I struggled. I was like, what do I want to do? And do I really have time? Like, I spent a lot of time just getting the technical stuff set up, the lighting and everything, and now I just pretty much hit and record. Like, I got a light, I just literally just turned the stuff on, and whatever, however it looks is however it looks. I'm not even tripping. Plus, I'm not even editing these videos. It's just a raw video, and this is about the conversation, because there's a conversation that needs to be had. So just think about this like studio talk. Like, if we meet one day in the studio, we become, good friends or whatever, and we're chilling, vibing, like, these are the conversations that we would have. So I want to kind of unlock that and share that with you guys at home. And I think there's something here and there that you could pick up that help you in your journey. And just to keep it real, like, that's how we all grow, through some mentorship, or um, learning from our peers. So yeah. I'm not going to talk too much today, but I think that one thing that I do want to talk about is audio equipment. Like, what type of equipment do you need? Um, I seen Bolo put out a video not long ago, and he was really trying to encourage you just to get started and just use whatever you used. And he's had success in the beginning of his career with not super expensive equipment, and that worked out for him. And I think that if that's all you got, then I think you do it. If it comes to the point where it's like you don't do music versus you do music, get $100 mic or whatever, get whatever you can afford. But if you have the means to save up a little bit of money, then buy the right stuff the first time. And I'm not saying buy, a $1,500 interface and a $2,000 preamp and a $5,000 microphone. I'm not saying do that. There are levels to this stuff, and I think when you get to like my level and you're competing with other people like that, yeah, you want to get some of the same gear, because you want to be on par. You want to have the highest quality of sound, and you want vocals to sound 3D, and you want them to be easier to mix, and all the other things that you would get some of the gear for. Um, I think you just need to buy the right stuff, and I think for like, you can't go wrong with any Apollo stuff. If you can afford Apollo, like, there's an Apollo interface right back there. I've had that for a while. If you can get one of those, you can get them used. You can get them on Facebook Marketplace for a couple $100. Get that, because it's going to sound good. It's got the UAD plugins; they sound good. Um, and the preamps sound good. The next thing you want to get, oh, if you can't afford that, but like I said, Facebook Marketplace, you can afford that. If you can't afford that, then get the SSL one. I think it's $300. There's two of them. There's one, either one will work. One has two headphones and more ins and outs, IO, right? Either one will work. It sounds decent. You're fine. Plug it in and do your thing. If you're just making beats, it doesn't really matter, right? Because nothing's running through it. You're just using it to plug your headphones and plug the speakers up. So it's not that big of a deal. Make your beats. But if you're trying to make records, I would definitely strive for an Apollo. If you can't, get an SSL and you're good. I wouldn't really mess with anything else. Yeah, there probably are better options. I see people using the Focusrite. I haven't used them and tested them, and the testing will have to be extensive because I'll tell you right now, you record one vocal and you put it on the track and you listen to it, you won't be able to tell. But you go ahead and record an R&B session with 30, 40 vocals, and if you have some experience mixing to where you can compare mixing stuff on high-end stuff and mixing stuff on something more low end, and you may hear a massive difference. I have before. I had a situation where I was in New York and I left my cable to my Apogee. I had a Apogee, forgot what it was called, but it was the little portable Apogee joint. It was like $1,000 or $1,200 when it first came out. Everyone was using it. Same like the Duet, the Apollo stuff, kind of in that same class before the Apollo stuff came out. And I had recorded like hundreds and hundreds of projects on it. And then when I didn't have the cable, you can't really find the cable anywhere. You got to order it from the website. It takes forever. So I went to Guitar Center and I got a Lexicon interface, and it was on sale because someone had returned it. And I think it was 170 or 200 or something. And I recorded a whole song on that, went back to mix it, and it sounded like crap. It sounded like crap, and I could immediately hear the difference from the vocal quality. And it was either, I think it was a combination of the bad preamp and the A to D conversion, the analog to digital conversion, the difference of quality, right? So it was kind of a waste for me because I had to re-record the whole thing again. But that was 10 years ago. So things have changed, things have gotten cheaper. But me personally, if you're like, yo, I got $1,000, I'll be like, yo, buy the right stuff. Go get you a used Apollo, and then go get, maybe like a um, warm audio microphone. They make two amazing clones. They make the Sony clone and they make the Telefunken clone. Go get those. And I'll elaborate and break it down in another video or whatever, provide some links or whatever. But it makes a massive difference. Trust me. Like I've had a friend, I was like, yo, buy the Telefunken mic. He bought it. It's a clone. He bought it, and without a preamp, his vocals sound amazing night and day. Like it just melts in. You don't even need to really do much to the mix. Um, and um, and then same thing with the preamp. I had another guy who, actually a good friend of mine and collaborator who purchased the Warm Audio Sony mic, the C800 clone, and the Neve preamp. And when he got the mic sounded great already, but when he got the Neve preamp, man, it just sounded like butter melting on on bread. It was like, I mean, that doesn't sound like anything, but it was like, man, it was just the his vocals were just kind of like melted in the mix, and it had a bit more of a 3D sound, if I could say that. Um, so anyway, those things make a difference to me. I would just get it used secondhand. That way, you don't have to spend enough. If you're on the Mac, get Logic. That's what I would recommend. That's what I use. It's cheap. It's like $200. It used to be $1,000. I remember when I bought it for $1,000. I was so proud. I was like, yeah, I bought it for $1,000. I bought it with my publishing deal money, and I was like, man. And it came with the key too. I was like, yeah, yeah. It felt real good. And but now it's $200 and it comes with a lot more. It's dope. Get it. But you can't go wrong with anything, to be honest with you. But I would use Logic if I was on a Mac. Definitely learn Pro Tools, because if you're in a studio, you got to know how to use Pro Tools. And if you're on PC or Mac and you like the FL wave, use FL, because FL is pretty dope. I mean, FL was really good back in the day. I think FL's edge that it had, besides that it had the browser in there, and it's really helpful for a workflow because they had a nice browser and it's in there and you're just dragging your stuff around and it's right in your face. The technology, the Dolphi or whatever that language that they coded in, the performance is so good. Like you back in the day, you could load FL on a crappy Windows computer and it was like usable, like, and that was kind of unheard of. And I think that was their game-changing edge that they had, and led to the popularity of FL Studio. Um, but yeah, so you can't go wrong. So, and also FL has FL Cloud in there, and FL Cloud is dope. It's dope as hell. Um, Also, full transparency, I've worked as a sound designer for Native Instruments and Image Line. So I've, you know, done some content for FL Cloud and some expansions, a lot of expansions I've worked on, and one that I've released myself for Native Instruments Machine. Um, but not to, I'm not trying to gas them up. Like, these are dope products, and you see they're hiring people like me, musicians, producers, to make stuff for producers. So like, we're trying to make dope stuff, and regardless, anyway, back to FL Cloud is $10 a month and is freaking fire, man. And then if you're using anything else, just use Splice if you need to use Splice. And if you don't need to use it, then that's fine. But there's like fire stuff in there. I was using FL Cloud the other day, making a beat. And my main DAW is Logic, but I was like trying something in FL Studio, excuse me. And I was using FL Cloud, and I was like, man, it's almost easier and faster just to be like, all right, I need a kick, find the kick. I need a snare, find the snare, filter it down, and just drag it over from there, because the content is always updating and the content is dope. And like, it's like $10 a month. It's crazy cheap. So you got the tools that you need. Like I said, get a good interface, get it used if you have to. Um, Make sure you have a good computer. The computer's like the brain. Interface is, kind of an extension off the brain. You want to make sure those things are good, because stuff is going into it, and it's being printed on the computer and printed into the record. So you want to make sure that quality is dope. And then you're good from there. You don't need all the stuff that I have behind me. Like, you don't need, I got an Avid S1 control surface, um, and some other things. There's a small SSL mixer right there, and but for the most part, like, I have a pretty lean setup. And the computer that I have, it's got 4 terabyte drive, MacBook Pro Max, and it's fully loaded, so I don't even have a hard drive to it, and I can just grab it and go to a studio with it and be good. So yeah, computer. Make sure you get a good computer. You don't need to buy everything brand new. Just buy it used. You know, some of the Macs, for the most part, uh, the logic board, if they go out, that's probably the worst case. But that doesn't happen that often. I've owned a bunch of Macs, never had a logic board go out. But you do see it from time to time. But then you can get it replaced, But I think your biggest thing is the battery. You get the battery replaced. It's like 120, 30, $40, and Apple will do it, and that's it. And then it's like pretty much a computer that lasts you another 5 to 10 years for real. So I've never had to sell my computers because they were just trash after a while. Like with the Macs, it was usually because there was the software operating system kept updating, and now the new version of Logic didn't work on the old one. So, and some plugins that I'm using, and that's why I upgraded. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. And please feel free to post some comments and let me know like what you want me to talk about. I'm going to share some experiences, and I'm definitely going to help guide you in your journey and keep you focused on just all things music production and your development in your ear. We're going to talk about that a lot, developing your ear, and that's really what it is. And I'm going to showcase music here too, so you can see that you know that I'm that I'm coming with some heat, you know what I'm saying? Which is what we all should be doing. We should come with some heat, and we want to compete at the highest level. So and that's mainly for R&B, hip hop, and pop. That's what I've been doing. I've got credits, I've got records. If you don't have any, we're gonna get you some too. All right. So yeah, peace. Thanks for your time. Take it easy.